All right, the theme 1.6, Theme2HTML 1.6 is out. Let me just show you what the updates are real quick, the last few that we've done. So you're looking at it, looks pretty much the way you'd imagine. Let me go ahead and walk in and show you what those changes are. One of them is so you can take this section out or leave it in, and you can also rename this to be anything you want. Okay. Then another one is for all of you guys who've wanted to be able to take this out because you don't really want an email form, maybe you don't want to use a phone number, but as you probably know, you can just rewrite this section to say anything you want. But for the email form, we now have it replaced with an option where you can put in two more image blocks, one above the other. So let me just show you real quick how these things work in the panel. And then I'll make a note about some of the other updates that we've done recently. I should do a recording for those too. Real quick, go to the global settings, and you'll find there are two new ones at the bottom. Let me just show you how they work. Service slider settings first, because it's easier. That's for the service slider. That's the piece at the bottom. That's the slider down here, and it's called a slider because you can put a bunch of images in. You can keep adding more, and if you hover over the arrow, the images will slide to the side. Right? Hover over the other arrow, it'll slide the other way. So you could actually have 20, 30, 40 things down here if you really wanted. I mean, there's probably not a reason, but it's a services slider. And then you can have each image linked to a certain page of your website if you want. And the print is clickable and the image is clickable to that place. Same with this and that. All right, so anyway, let me show you. What if you don't want it? What if you just don't want to have to go finding a bunch of extra images and you really don't need this whole thing down here? Okay. Or first, what if you just want to change this? What if you don't do services? What if you do products, or anything else? It could be anything, our guarantees. You know, who knows what you want to say. Happy testimonials, and you could have a bunch of faces in here smiling, and when you hover over the arrows, it keeps on going, right? And it can be names of people down here. Charlie from Indiana, Ann from Florida, you know, whatever. All right, let me just show you how that works, okay? And by the way, that does work because you don't even have to have them click to pages. They can be sitting here like this, and just the link that it would click to would just be a pound sign, which means stay here, right? Okay, let me just show you. So in the service slider settings, it can be on or off, and you can call it what you want. Our services, you could call it like our products, okay? All right, you could even call it something like our newest products. Okay, exclamation point perhaps. Okay, let me update that. So now, there it is, our newest products with an exclamation point. Again, our happy customers, you know, it can be whatever you want. Now, what if I don't want that section down there at all? Global settings, that's where I am, service slider, turn it off, update, and it's off. You just don't see it, okay? Now, the other section that we're going to pull out anytime now is going to be this. We already taught people how to manually go in there and adjust this on their own. Cities we serve, for the people who don't want that. Right now, obviously, you can take all the names of the cities out, but you can't remove cities we serve. That's coming. You're going to be able to remove that real soon. Finally, this block down here is easy to remove, right? Just in case you guys didn't know, it's so easy. Now that we can save backups of all our copies, save copies that we don't have to worry about losing the coding, I can just straight go down to the, what's it called again? The 4-image or logos above the footer in the bottom of the box. And I can just delete it. And I can update it. And if I come back, all you see is a nice little white sliver down here, but it looks appropriate. It looks like a separator between what comes above it and the footer stuff at the very bottom, which again, you could also delete these things. Anybody wondering? You can take those out, right? And that's for the people who just want that stuff gone. Footer copyright text, that can come out too. Update, and when I come back and look, that's gone. And then if I want to keep the links in there, I can keep the links in there. If I want to take the links out, I can take those links out. Footer links. And that can be gone. Update. Again, all those things are editable with just regular flip to source code, put them in, take them out. And the cities, again, this is just showing people how to remove things, I guess. Again, the cities we serve will come out real soon. Publish on site, that's right, yes or no. Reference name, cities we serve, that's for what we call it. Oh, this might be done already. And it can be called cities we serve or anything else really, because this is custom HTML. I said no. Let me see if that actually took. It did. Ha! So we can get rid of all of it, guys. You can get rid of everything you don't want down here. And let me show you now how you deal with the email form. I didn't even realize that that update was in. Isn't that cool? That's done this time around. I was thinking it was going to be the next time around. Watch this. What if I want to just change that? And what if I want to change this? What if, again, I just want to say happy customers, or click here for the most important page, or our services, or anything else, you know? Take a look. I can go here to where it says call us header text, and I can just change it to anything else, right? Let me see, what is that? That's heading 1. Fine. Now I know how big it is. I might just say something like, right, enjoy our 10% discount, right? I mean, obviously, that's not the most interesting thing to say. And then I could have a link to click through to a special page, right? And I could do anything I want with that. I can make that a different color or whatever, you know, update. Okay, I'm just showing you that you can do things like that. You don't have to have a phone number. And I can make that obviously a lot larger. Call us header text, right? So I can go with like a heading 1. Okay. All right. It word wraps to stay inside the box, but that's up to you how you want to deal with it. If I want, I could put the artificial line break so that I do something like this, you see? And if I want to go into the source code, I can even fix this bit where it thinks it's supposed to be 2 separate tags and just put a break tag in there. Those of you guys who are familiar with this much in the way of coding can do that, right? And update. And now when I go back and look, see? That way I got the effect I wanted. That's the effect I wanted. What if I don't want it to say open Monday through Friday? What if I want it to say serving the whole nation 24/7? Or say nothing at all? It's up to you. I could just say serving everyone one at a time. You know, you can do anything like that, right? You don't have to say open Monday through Friday. And again, I can put that little bit of block in there. Opening days text. I can put the little bit of break code in there. Serving everyone. Break tag. One at a time. Let me see. There. Serving everyone one at a time. I mean, I wouldn't really say that, but there you go. And if you do want to just take it out, call us header text. What was that again? Call us header text, and then opening days. Just take it out. You can take it out. It's not a problem. And it's gone. Okay? So there you go. Now, finally, let's do the email form because it's just a little bit more involved. Not much, though. Schedule form box settings. I don't want to do the schedule form. I want to do the banner boxes. By the way, how do you control the email address for the schedule form? Most of you guys already know. I mean, where does it mail to when you fill it in and hit submit? It's got to mail to somewhere. You guys should know how to control it, but just in case you don't, because some guys still kind of miss, it's here. Let me show you. The header schedule form right here. Okay, and instead of having my email address in there, you put in any email address you want and hit update. And now it's going to mail to you. Okay, not me. Now remember what else it does. It tells you that somebody sent an email, and it tells you the information about them, and it plugs their information in. And it also sends them an email saying, dear username, you know, whoever they are, it fills in the information. Thank you very much for contacting us. We'll get back to you shortly, and stuff like that. You can adjust these. These are templates that you can adjust. You can decide what you want it to say and say and say and say. Okay. Now, for those of you who straight don't want to use it, let me show you again what we're going to do. Schedule form box settings. We're going to flip it to 2 more images. Okay. How does it work? A title, an image, and a URL. Repeat. This is box 2 now. A title, an image, and a URL. Okay. All right. So let me just show you how I'm going to do it. I already have these 4 up here. I might get like 4 that were in the service slider area. The images might be the wrong size though, so I'll probably just wind up duplicating these because I'm not going to take the time to resize them now for this example. I'm just going to show you how this works. So let's say the title, as a matter of fact, let me put that back on at the bottom so I can grab information off of it. Oh, I'm sorry, hold on. And then I'll turn it back off again, okay? And you could leave it back on, or leave it on. I'm just showing you how this works, right? Here we go. So I want something like best selection and treatments. Okay, let me just show you how that would work. Schedule 4, banners. I'd say I could even copy if it made sense to. You could just copy it. Selection for best. Okay, copy. You could say selecting for best. There's no reason I have to say anything I don't want to say. And then I can go get an image. Either I have it on the server or I'll upload it from my computer. Let's say that was the image I wanted. Again, it's going to be the wrong size, but there you go. And then where is it going to link to? If I want it to link nowhere, I'll just put a pound sign. Actually, the most appropriate answer is a slash, then a pound sign, because that means stay here. If I want it to go somewhere, I'm just going to figure out what page that is. There it is. Here's the domain, but forget that part. Take the slash part and go the rest of the way. That's the page. So really, this is the page, but don't forget the slash. That's all I'm saying, because that's what it is, a relative link. Okay, so just put it in. Now, box 2. By the way, I'm done with that. I just did box 1. Let me do box 2. And again, it's pretty easy. Box 2, I'll just say treatments. Treatments. What's the image going to be? Let me just get the image. Okay. There. And let me figure out what that URL should be. If I click it, just grab it, slash whatever the page is. Okay. This is really easy, right? Now keep in mind, the images are supposed to be a certain size. It tells you what size, 247 by 166. These images are not the right size, so this will look a little off, but let me just show you. See, there it is, and it's just following the color that's set for the email form. You could actually go change it by just changing what the color would be on website theme and colors, and instead of using the email form background being that color, it could be any other color. You could even just set it to white, and if you do, that actually works. Watch this. You know, whether you do caps or lowercase, doesn't matter, and you'll get the idea. Okay. Now again, it'd be better to have the right size images, so let me just copy a couple of these now real quick, just so you can see what it would look like when it's done correctly. Okay. And let's get the right images. So I know that that's one of them, and I know that this is another one of them. Okay, update. Now let's see. Yep, so that's what that would look like. See how cool that is? Except, you know, you just have, and these click through to the pages you want them to click through to. Okay, that's the whole point. They will click through to the pages you want them to click through to. That's a Moji template, don't know why. Just cause, so you can see how it works. But anyway, there you go. All right, so this absolutely works. It's actually kind of cool for Moji runs. It's a very good way of getting a main page into one of these sections where this would be one of the results that comes out of the run. All right, there you go. I think you get the point. There's a lot of control that we have now, and so I think that's really awesome, and you got a chance to see it. By the way, check this out. I'm going to go erase everything I did because we now have our backup and restore options. And if I already had a backup saved for the homeopathy template, that's where I am right now, homeopathy, that's this one. So maybe I can just restore the backup, and if so, it's going to restore. Oh, that's even going to another theme. By the way, we have other themes. You guys probably don't know anything about them yet. We've got a couple more. So those of you with T2H, log in, and you'll find like 2 more themes. There's one for law, and there's one for just this idea, you know. And it's cool and it's different, you know. All right. So you can go check that out. So that's just one that I happened to have sitting in there because I was working on it earlier. But I can absolutely go get my default file. That would be that one, and upload it. And now when I look, it should be fine. There, you see? I'm back to the original default setting for this thing. Everything's back to normal. Isn't that wild? That's how much control we have now. You can save anything you make, and you can upload anything you want that you saved and work on it all at the same time. Pretty cool, huh? All right, there's your updates video. We got more coming out, but I hope you find that interesting.